Hey, Joe Bob Chamberman here. I'm gonna go over some of the really cool stuff that I have bought for the camper. You know, like windows and my exhaust vent roof thingy, stuff like that, so you guys can kind of see what I'm using. You know, whenever I'm buying this stuff online, I always look at the reviews, and I go to other websites too. I don't just go to Amazon and read the reviews on Amazon. I go to other sites. I find other places where these products are on, and I look at all the different reviews. You can usually find a theme. Usually there's always some kind of specific thing that's always wrong with these, the most common thing that's wrong with them. Depending upon that, depending upon if I think that's a problem that I can deal with, is depending upon whether or not I'll get it. So as I go through these items, we'll talk about that. You know, I don't have a lot of money. I'm just trying to get what I can get. So another thing I do is I also try to look for deals. You'll find something and then you can go find it on another site, same exact product or some special going on. So if you're really trying to save money, you're gonna wanna spend some time on your phone or on your computer looking through the web, trying to find a good deal, especially for some of this more expensive stuff like windows. There's certain things I think that you do need to go ahead and spend the money on, and I think windows is definitely one of those things, in my opinion. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go over a couple of the items I've bought and a couple of the items I plan to buy. Like, subscribe, comment, or don't. Here we go. Some cool stuff that I have gotten for the camper. You know, you gotta have a vent. You need to have some kind of way to cool air out of the camper. You know, it's a really small enclosed space. For one, it doesn't take much to cool it off, but two, it doesn't take much to heat it up and make it uncomfortable. It goes both ways. So what I ended up getting was, this is the cheapest one that I could find. The reviews weren't terrible. The only thing that was really bad about this one was that the fan on it apparently is not very powerful at all. It's really, really crappy and shitty. That's really it though. Everything else about this one was pretty good. You know, it does its job. It is a camper exhaust vent. And there's the little fan. This is how you open the lid there. You see? Nice. I open it up. Yeah, you open it up using this little turn thing right here. So not too bad. Not no crazy ass automatic one or anything. Here's the on off button. I haven't plugged it in or anything yet. I need to hook it up, but apparently the only thing that's bad about this is this fan right here. This fan is not very powerful. What most people did, they got either a little computer fan and added it to this, or they just took this fan out completely and replaced it with something that was a little more powerful. I think I'm gonna go with the computer fan route. I have computer fans sitting around, so that's what I'm gonna do with this, is I'm gonna add a computer fan to it. This was only, I think $55 on Amazon. Just a little exhaust vent. Yeah, not bad, not bad. It is what it is. Definitely not the strongest exhaust vent in the world, for sure. But, like I said, I am on a budget. It's gonna do the trick. It's gonna do what I need it to do. I think the next cheapest one I found was well over $100. It came with some nice little insulative sticky tape stuff. Very important. That'll help make it waterproof around the seal here. And then of course it came with screws. All the screws you need to hook it up. And so basically all you gotta have is something to stick it on and some tools to put it in. Everything else it came with, then you'll have to figure out a way to wire it up. And I think it is a little 12-volt fan. Let's see. Let's open her back up here. Read the fan. Yes, it is a 12-volt DC fan. So, not going to draw much power. Really easy to hook it up to a 12-volt DC. So there's my little Roof $50 vent, exhaust vent. Now the other thing I've gotten recently is windows. So originally I was just going to go with regular house windows. Some picked out Etlos. They were just $70 a pop, had a screen, they opened up. But after doing more research, I realized that probably wasn't going to be the best option. There are people out there who have used them in their camper builds, but there's some people who've had problems with them as well. And, you know, understandably, those house windows aren't built for the road. They're not built to withstand the vibrations of the road. They're not tempered, so if they do shatter, they shatter into really sharp pieces. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to be able to not worry, so I decided to go ahead and go with actual camper windows. Now the only thing about going with actual camper windows is that they're really not cheap. they're not cheap at all. Ugh. So these are called, they were advertised as teardrop windows. The reviews on them were pretty good. The complaints were that this does not come with a template, but that's okay. I got a buddy who's gonna help me make a template. Because a lot of the people were saying that it was kind of hard to do a complete install, cutting out the hole because there was no template, so they had to cut several times until they got it right. I'm not experienced with putting in windows like brand new windows, building a whole frame for it and everything. I'm getting a friend to help me. So another complaint was, I guess these don't have holes pre-drilled into them to actually screw them onto the frame or wherever you're going to screw them onto. So everybody had to drill their own holes. That's something I'm okay with. Now let's get down to cost. These, I got two of them for $215 or $220 for the two windows, which if you've been looking online for camper windows, that's really good. Yeah, that's a really good price. The best deal I found was on Amazon. Two of them for $220. I think these are 16 by 14. They do open up halfway, and there's a screen on them. They're actually really nice windows. They're tinted, as you can see. Nice tinted windows, give you a little privacy, and also so that sun's not beating in there. You got a nice little screen here so that the bottom half that you open up, you know, you're not gonna be letting bugs in. But yep, so these are the two little items I've just recently bought. Got a little bit of overtime at work, so I had a little bit extra money. Every bit of money I get, I'm spending on the camper and school. But yeah, man, so I got my windows, I got my exhaust vent. I need two more of these. I want to buy a total of 4 windows. So I bought these two right now, and I'll get another couple of them in whenever I can afford it in the next couple months. Let's see, other things that I need to buy. Putting a camper into the truck makes it, you know, the back of the truck a little bit harder to see with my side view mirrors, especially since I'm making this thing so wide. So I am buying a set of those hauling mirrors for trucks. They're like extra long, you can extend them out. I'm gonna buy a set of those. I think they're about $100. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm going to, because that's something you're gonna need. If I'm gonna be driving all the time and living on the road and living in my camper, I'm gonna need to make sure that I do that safely. And in order to do it safely, I'll need to make sure that I can see. If you can't see, you know, and you're driving, that's never good. I've never ever heard a situation where driving and not being able to see is a good thing. So I definitely want to be able to see when I'm out there driving. Also, a backup camera. I've been looking at backup cameras. The cheaper ones, if you want to get a cheaper one that seems to actually be good and not be all laggy, you want to get a corded one from what I've been reading. So I'm looking into getting a corded rear view camera. I think that'll help also because the camper will be so big I won't be able to see behind me. It'll be easier to have a backup camera installed so that backing into places will be easier. That's basically it, guys. So yeah, that's basically it for what I was going to show you guys today. I was just going to make this short little video, but I did want to talk about camper material real quick because I did decide on something today. I went to Lowe's to get some more material to make some more of the paneling I was making for the roof, and they were out of this really thin insulation that I've been using to make panels out of, which I still have some. I was going to go ahead and buy some more since I was there because, like I said, that's what I've decided I'm going to build my walls with. Since they didn't have any there, it made me kind of look at another foam board. These are a bit thicker. Well, I think they're double the thickness as those other ones, so it makes them a little bit stronger. And they've got these little grooves right here. See if you guys can see that. Yeah, so they've got these little grooves right here. All right, and then on the other side of them, they have a spot where that groove will fit into. So you can actually panel these together, stick them together, and they're made to fit into each other. So I thought that would be really awesome. The fact that they're thicker makes them a little more sturdier, and then being able to stick them together like that will help seal up any gaps or anything. So I was like, oh wow, that's really not a bad way to go. So I've decided to go with those. Now they're a bit more expensive. They're double the price of what I was paying for the other foam panels, but I think that's a fair trade-off. I think these will go together easier, won't be a gap. They're a little bit stronger. Since I'm using them for the actual outer walls, you want a little bit more strength. I'm coating the whole thing in poor man's fiberglass, so shouldn't be an issue anyways once everything's all said and done. That's what I'm gonna do for my walls, for my exterior walls. All right, man, that's really all I got today, guys. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you to everybody who watches my videos. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And I really hope that you guys are at least enjoying a little bit of this. I'm being serious when I tell you guys this, that I have messed up most of my life. I have made series after series after series of bad decisions until I was about 29. I'm 36 now. When I was 29, I started to finally get my stuff together, get my shit together. It took a long time, and even after 29, you know, I still messed up here and there, and it even took me a few more years to really, really get everything up and going and get out of what I was in. And that's where I'm at now. But even if you've made mistakes, even if you've messed your life up, you know, it's not... It's my diabetes alarm. But yeah, even if you've messed your, you know, you think you've messed your whole life up, you haven't. You can get out there and you can go do something. You just got to put in the time and you got to put in the effort. That's what it takes. You've got to be willing to put some time and effort into it if you want to get out there and change your life. That's what you got to do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not going to fall in your lap. Things aren't going to magically get better. You know, even if you put effort and everything into it, it still might not get better, because that's what life is sometimes. But if you don't ever try, it's never ever going to get better, and that is for sure. Be kind to each other, show some love. Thank you to all who watch these videos. I really, really, really do appreciate it. I love you guys. Joe Bob Chamberman out.